I made it. I'm here. I'm officially here to celebrate MGM Hollywood Studios 35th anniversary. I am here for 1 hour and I'm just going to walk around taking all the sights and get this pamphlet. Something that I think would have been really cool is if they had given out maps from the opening day. See like what the difference is between the park then and now. Obviously Star Wars area is new, Toy Story Land's new. But what did it look like opening day? I'm sure there's maps all over the internet that we can compare. So let's do that now. It is the 35th anniversary of Hollywood Studios today, and not only is that exciting, but I got to go back into the Muppet store. That was my main reason for wanting to come here, was just to go inside and see what it looks like, see if those old props are still up, and they are. So there's hope for us yet that the Muppet store will return. Now that I live in Florida, I'm able to go to all of these celebrations, like the 35th at Hollywood Studios today. So I got to get this commemorative little brochure. And I opened it up and I saw, it has this map in here. And it got me thinking about all the things that used to be here when the park first opened, or, years since. And so I went through some of my old photos, and let's just see a few things. So obviously we had the Osborne Family Spectacle Dancing Lights, which has been gone for a while now. That was really cool if you had ever seen that. Just thousands and thousands and thousands of lights. This is all where Star Wars Land, Galaxy's Edge, is now. Same with the car stunt show. Here's the big ending where the car jumps through the fire. And on that same note, they always chose a kid to pretend to be driving the car during the show. And my son actually did that once. So here's the certificate. You also got a pin, which I'm sure it's around somewhere. Lights, Motors, Action, Extreme Stunt Show. 12/28/2011. So probably one of the last times that show even was on. A couple other things over by Star Tours, which now I think is a bathroom area. They had this little speedster thing that you could ride on. That was there for a long time. And then, of course, they still have the stage, but will they ever do the show again? Probably not, because right now at Lakeland Antique Mall, you can actually buy these robes, these little kid robes. So the Jedi training, that was always a huge fan favorite, especially of my son. There he is right there, doing the battles with Darth Vader. Then Darth Maul came out eventually. And then the big sorcerer hat. That was the main focus of the park there after the Earful Tower. That was really cool. And then you could also meet Mickey in his sorcerer outfit. He actually played with my son's lightsaber one time, which was really cool. And then when the launch bay first started, it actually had a lot more going on in it. And one thing was the Incredibles were in there. So that was pretty cool too. So just a few things that have gone to the wayside, along with things like these guys, which I know everybody talks about this on a daily basis, missing these fast passes. I was actually going to see, most of these are for Carousel of Progress, strangely enough. Oh, here's one for Peter Pan. Would they actually let me on? Probably not, seeing as how there is a date on here, 2013. But what would they do if I came and tried to use this? I might try it one time just for fun. But there's a few things of the old MGM Studios back in the day before they started doing all of their changes and renovations for Galaxy's Edge, Toy Story Land, and other new things. Transitioning from the days of Hollywood with what was my favorite, the Backlot Tour, transitioning away from being a working Hollywood studios, of course, with the filming of the Mickey Mouse Club, which was my absolute favorite show of all time, to becoming more of just a theme park. There's another one of the Jedi training. There's that guy, Stormtrooper, Darth Vader. There's my son. It's pretty cool. I think this was part of the Backlot Tour, or maybe it was at the launch bay. But the Backlot Tour had some of that where you could see too. A bunch of props and stuff in the back. I had a ton of photos of that. I don't know where those photos went. They used to have a nighttime show of Star Wars over the Chinese theater there. That was always really cool. And had like the lightsaber coming out the top. You can see that. That was always a really cool show. More pictures from the Jedi training. Battling Darth Vader. How cool would that be as a little kid to get to do that? I wish they would bring that back. That was fun. So another thing that's kind of fun. Here's a picture of my son on the Jungle Cruise. He was probably 3 or 4. And he went on to be a Jungle Cruise skipper in his college program. So he was her 20 years later. And then here's him at Toy Story Mania, which is where he works now. He's probably 5 here. So 18 years later, there he is working at Toy Story Mania. The popularity of Up now, the Up characters, this is probably, my son's probably 7 there, so would have been 14 years ago when the movie probably first came out. Here's the Up characters. This probably would have been in the launch bay. They always had a bunch of characters in there. I had gotten this scrapbook paper at the parks one time. This was something that you could buy. It had these little stickers and then this paper. I think I do have some of it left. But here's the big hat. And then here's us in front of the big hat. My son was just little. And here was the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids play area. And you could sit on that. They used to have a parade every day. The Cars were in the parade. The Incredibles were in the parade. They had a bunch of characters in the parades. In the little speedster or whatever it's called, Star Wars thing. Launch bay. Characters. Here's another parade. Power Rangers. Here's more of that stunt show. That was something we always had to do. Go see the stunt show. Disney MGM Studios. I will forever call it that. As a kid, we used to go to Disney World almost like on a yearly basis. And then once I had my son, we of course went on a yearly basis also. So we've been coming here for a long time. So I know how the park has changed and the differences between then and now. But what I'd like to know is what part that's not here anymore was your favorite? So let's think about some options here. So we had the stunt show with the race cars. And did you ever get to drive one of those? Were you ever chosen as the kid to drive and you got the certificate and the pin? My son was chose one time, so we do have that certificate and the pin. What about the Jedi training show? Were you ever a kid in the Jedi training show? My son used to love that, so we used to do that every time. He had been in that multiple times. What about the Honey, I Shrunk the Audience? Or were you a kid and you got to play on that set? What about the Osborne Spectacular Lights? Was that your favorite? So what was your favorite that's not here anymore? I would have to say my favorite that's not here anymore is the Great Movie Ride. R.I.P. Great Movie Ride, which is now Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. Another thing that I just have a lot of connection to here is the Mickey Mouse Club. Mickey Mouse Club was my favorite show. We actually got to see them filming while on the backstage tour. That's the closest I ever came to being a part of that. My favorite Mouseketeer is Chase, and he is always here, and I always miss him. He was here this morning, and I missed him. So one of these times, I'm going to meet him and get a picture, because he was my absolute favorite from back in the day. I did meet them when they were touring as The Party. I did get to see The Party in concert, if you remember that, if you're of a certain age. But what was your favorite thing? Let me know in the comments.
What?
Come here.
I've already seen them.
Which one did you want?
I literally just wanted any of the pens.
Which one do you want more? I like the Sorcerer Mickey one. Do you like that one more?